Uh, because an agent cannot practice law, he or she should avoid drafting contract. Real estate contract may be uh, completed by real estate licensee, but no, and if pre-printed style and contract form may be used. A lease convey the right of exclusive possession for land or terms of time at will, usually for a specific rent or compensation. A counter offer doesn't amend the original offer. A counter offer voids the original offer. It is customary but not necessary for the buyer to give earnest money. An executory contract is not one that will terminate on a specific day. An executory contract is one where one or both parties still have duties to perform. A contract is not void because someone did not put up earnest money. It is customary but not necessary for the buyers to give earnest money. A contract with a minor is void. A contract with a minor is voidable. An addendum does not change the text of a contract. An addendum is any provision added to an existing contract without altering the content of the original. A contract for the sale of a real estate that does not state the consideration to be paid for the property is not signed by the party considered to be void. A contract is void when it has no legal force or effect because it lacks some of the essential element of a contract. A broker uses earnest money placed in the company trust account to pay for the rent owed on the broker's office. Using escrow fund for this purpose is conversion of fund, and it is illegal. A broker may not use earnest money funds for his or her personal use. It's called conversion. What is another way to looking at time is of the essence? The answer is on or before. Time is of the essence means that the contract must be performed within the time limit specified or before a specific date. A party who fails to perform on time is liable for breach of contract, in which case a buyer could lose escrow fund or the seller could lose the right to enforce the contract. In Georgia, the statute of limitation for bringing a legal action based on a real estate sales contract is 6 years. In Georgia, the statute of limitation for bringing a legal action based on real estate sales is 6 years. A contract entered into by a mentally ill person is usually voidable during the mental illness and for a reasonable period after the person is cured. Both parties agreed to terminate the contract with all monies returned to the original parties. They were back at square one. This is an example of rescission. Rescission returned the party to the original position before the contract. So any money that were exchanged must be returned. Cancellation terminates a contract without return to the original position, and monies are not necessary to return. When the agreement is terminated because all of the contract terms have been met, the contract is said to be discharged. A contract is discharged when the agreement is terminated, hopefully because it has been completed, performed, and all its terms carried out. However, a contract may be terminated for other reasons, such as a party's breach or default. An option to purchase bind which of the following parties? The seller only. An option is a contract by which an optionor, generally an owner, gives an optionee, a prospective purchaser or lessee, the right to buy or lease the owner's property at a fixed price within a certain period of time. Nick and Kelly sign a contract under which Nick will convey Raptor Manor to Kelly. Nick changes his mind and Kelly sues for a specific performance. What is Kelly seeking in this lawsuit? Conveyance of the property. In a suit for specific performance, the buyer asks the court to force the seller to go through with the sales and convey the property as previously agreed. A buyer and seller agree to the purchase of a house of $200,000. The contract contains a clause stating that time is of the essence. Which of the following statement is true? All parties to the contract exchange binding promises. Contract may be classified as either bilateral or unilateral. In a bilateral contract, both parties promise to do something. One promise is given in exchange for another. Stacy pays $279,600,000 for a house in Decatur. The amount of the Georgia real estate transfer tax to be paid at closing is $280,000.